Good afternoon and welcome to your favorite current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. Weekly, we are here with guests to dissect national issues, especially issues that affect the development of Nigeria vis-a-vis the states in the country. My name is Erosa Agmolao. I have with me today very distinguished personalities and academics, the HOD Computer Science, BIU, and also a clergyman as well, Dr. Maxwell Osage. Nice to have you with us. He's a statistician, so when you see him, be ready for data on the program today. We also have with us a very distinguished Royal Highness, Alhaji Bako Dogo. He is the chairman of all chairmen of Farmers Association, and is a renowned analyst with us. Nice to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks, viewers at home.
Yes, today's topic is very crucial. There is over-dependence on just a sector of the economy. And some persons believe that that's the reason why Nigeria is having problems. We don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of economic terminologies because some of our viewer may not really understand. Now, what we're talking about, the economy, over reliance on crude oil, the sales of crude oil to bring in foreign exchange into the country. It is believed that many years ago, there used to be what was called the pyramid of granules in the north and pyramid of cocoa in the southeast, in the western part of the country rather. That Bako will explain to us. We need to change the economy. We need to look at other areas, other variables that we can invest in, we can explore, not just dependence on just oil, because the market price of that fluctuates. So, we'll just give you a little background of what we are discussing today so you can really understand what we intend to talk about, because it is very crucial to our discussion. Okay, now before we'll continue, before we get that on, let me just quickly start with Alhaji Bako Dogo, because to him, he believes that Nigeria is making a mistake for depending on only oil. You want to explain that?
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Any country that depends on oil alone can never succeed. And in Nigeria, we are solely depending on oil. Before now, when oil have not been discovered in Nigeria, we were dealing on farm produce. Edo State was known for rubber, cocoa, and other things. And when the north were known for groundnuts, and Nigeria depending on that, and we were moving forward smoothly. But since the discovering of oil in Nigeria, it became a setback to us. When oil was not discovered, it became a big setback. And let me tell you the truth. If Nigeria really go on agriculture today, you don't even say people don't have job. Agriculture is a way of creating a lot of employment. Go to a place like US, go to Germany. The government invests heavily in agriculture. What did they do? They invest in agriculture, give people loans, and they monitor what they are doing. At the end of the day, they mop out whatever you have produced, get it to the grain, and later they release it back to the market in a way, by way of subsidizing agricultural product to the people. But in Nigeria, no, we don't have it. And the state government, the federal government is supposed to be complement to the state government. But the state government now are not also doing the right thing. The federal government, they want to do something, and they send the incentive to people, to the people who are not even, they don't even know what they are doing. Instead of them to get accurate data of the farmers, what they are doing in Nigeria today, in Nigeria, they are getting people who are in office who don't even know how many people are in the farm. And the umbrella body of farming, which is supposed to be ADFA in Nigeria, we are being neglected. You will see today, it's only now that the federal government is waking up. They are now using their coordinator in the states to get things down to the farmers. Till yet, it's not enough. Let another different body entirely be in agriculture. And we have so many Nigerians today, Edo indigenes are in Lagos. They are busy doing nothing. If you have asked them to come back, there is a vast land in Edo, get a hut or whatever you call it, just small duplex, even one bedroom in the farms. And get solar and put there. Let that be satellite. You see, everybody want to stay in the farm because people getting old every day because of this. These fruits, this kind of mechanized, what do you call it, mechanized fruit they are drinking. If you take
fruit juice that is not fresh,
that is fresh, that you don't know what they're producing. If you see the way they produce Coca-Cola, Fanta, the rest, you will not even want to drink it.
We can't do that on this.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Well, I'm sorry. If you see the way they produce some fruits, you will not even want to drink it. Yes. But the issue today is that federal government should invest heavily and give loan to farmers. Not to tell farmer you want to give loan, you are asking farmer to bring a collateral. A farmer that is in the farm, what does it have to do with collateral? Collateral does not work with a farmer because a farmer believes that whatever you give to him or her, we invest it in the farm. At the end of the year, come and mop it from them. We are ready.
But you know that some farmers, why government, I need to interject.
Yes.
Some farmers will tell you that they are farmers, but they are not real farmers.
That's what we call,
get loan and run away.
Yes, that is what we call portfolio farmers.
Okay,
there's a governor that was in this state who seriously invested in farming by giving to commissioner to disburse the loan. I tell you, the record we have dying, even the dead people that are in relation, their name appear in the loan. That's why that loan was not a payback. Because you cannot give kickback and you expect somebody to come and pay you. If you have given ADFA, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, that loan and give us a mandate that this loan will be paid back, we know those who are farmers and we know how we can get those money from farmers and pay back so that money will not circulate because the government cannot give every farmer's money.
Okay. But thank you, Haji Bako. Like I told you, he believes that there is need for us to invest in other sectors, not just only on exploration, oil exploration. There's need to also look inwards and see how Nigeria can actually come out of the woods. And to him, farming, the agricultural sector is just the answer. Dr. Maxwell, now looking at the way Nigeria has failed, it is believed that the federal government has not gotten it right because of our dependence on oil. We need to look at other areas. So what's your take?
Okay, thank you, Saragosa and the viewers. When you look at this country, one will ask question. Is it wrong for we to have oil?
Okay.
Or is it bad for we to have oil?
Yes.
The way you look at the answer will determine if indeed you mean well for this country. Whether they have gotten it right or wrong is a matter for another day.
Okay.
Because when you look at it vis-a-vis, what we are talking about now is not something that will feel, okay, we are waiting for it. It's already with us. And how to use it to benefit the masses is what ought to be. But in a case where you don't have few individuals having hijacked the system, it boils down to the fact that the few actually did not just want the beauty of the oil to do well. The same thing we are passing through here. We are almost at the stage of Venezuela. Mm-hmm. Venezuela is also one of the country you could say that they are very rich in oil and everything. But when you allow external body to start interpreting your home for you, it becomes a problem. I think the problem we are in at the moment is that we so much believe in foreign experts in directing our economy for us. And at the end of the day, what we are facing is born out of the fact that Nigeria wants to correct a system. And wherever it is said that someone wants to correct a system, is a system that corrects human, not human correcting the system. X, you will end up using the system to favor yourself. If you want to correct the system, favor yourself. Now, having said that, the problem here is this. How did we get here? There are several countries without oil. Do I want to believe that Nigeria is so much dependent on oil in running the actual affair of this country? No. I don't think so. Now, the reason why we are looking at the situation in this manner is because government has been able to portray or give us a picture that their dealings is on oil and oil alone. So, have you asked yourself, countries without oil, how are they surviving? Let's even remove agriculture. There are several ways in which government makes money.
Yeah.
Have you seen a credible fact and figure on ground to say that this is what we made from all the income of people working for Nigeria? We have different tax scheme.
Okay.
We have different tax scheme. And the kind of tax we operate is a progressive tax.
Okay.
There's a progressive tax, different types of taxes.
Yeah.
Now, we operate progressive tax in the sense that the higher you earn, the higher you pay.
Yes.
Now, when you look at these different types of taxes, like personal income tax, they are not something that you debate. The government collects it before they will hand over your money to you. Now,
and VAT is another thing.
VAT is another thing,
yes,
which is either 5 or 10%. Now, have you asked yourself, over the years, has there ever been a kind of a systematic way where government will not tell you this is what we will get from tax? Or we are doing this budget, this is what we come from tax, based on what we will get. But rather what you hear is that when they present budget, they use barrels. They use crude oil barrel to negotiate the budget. Now, when there is a drop in crude oil sales in a barrel in the market, then you see government start raising issue. Hey, we cannot fund budget. We cannot fund budget. For crying out loud, where are all these other money? Nigeria is into mine and steel. Where are those incomes that comes from all this angle?
There seems to be a lot of problem in that sector you
So,
just mentioned.
are you getting it?
That mining sector.
Mining. Hey,
Well, the Zamfara case is a good...
Are you getting me?
Yes,
So,
example.
where are the money from those angle? Is it that government is just collecting money? I understand that we operate a decentralized tax system where state government are allowed to collect theirs, local government are allowed to collect theirs, as well as federal government are allowed to collect theirs. But the question that is here to be answered is that I've not seen any state governor, I've not seen federal, the president, or any local government chairman come to the public and say, this is what we will get. Because you can actually project tax. You can project tax, what you will get within a year, based on forecasting. Are you getting me? Now, the reason why we go to school is that it gives us this opportunity to be able to lay our black and white down and have some permutations and combinations in order to arrive at a bit of a valid conclusion. Though maybe not too valid, but are actually close, plus or minus. That's why in everything, like in engineering, they will tell you when you are calculating for tension, in terms of tension, they will tell you there's what we call plus and minus 10. So that to allow for a bit of ambient temperature that may likely act on it. So what am I trying to say? We've not seen government actually telling us fact about every other source of income. But all we hear is fuel. Reason being that many of them are stakeholders. They are stakeholders. The president that we are talking about is the owner of Mobi. I guess you know. Is the owner of Mobi. And recently we were told, people will say, oh, he's not the owner of Mobi, but his brother, his cousin, is Tinubu when you check. So it's like Egusa and everything. So you, as we were told, the same Mobi bought a Jeep. And you know what a Jeep represents in the oil industry. So it's the same 10 and 10%. These same people who gives you policy, who is meant to allow the thing to flow, are the one in charge. So it's just all about them making quick money, using the masses to pay for it. But I think enough is enough.
Okay. Thank you, Dr.
Enough
Master.
is enough.
We'll come back to you. That's your
Thank
opening remark on this very important topic. Before we take a break, Haji Bako will tell us more. You seem to be focusing on agriculture because you believe that, yes, that is the area Nigeria need to invest in. But some places are saying the kind of agriculture in Nigeria, why is it not comparable to that in overseas? So, and what kind of employment opportunities are bound in the agricultural sector? You want to comment on that?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Sir, you see, for you to know how important agriculture is in Nigeria, under the second schedule of the Constitution, it says, even though a civil servant, whatever thing you are doing, you can become a farmer as a civil servant or whatever, and also belong to the agricultural organization. That is to tell you how important agriculture can be. Food is important. Without food, you cannot move. My brother was just saying we should live. You cannot live agriculture in life. Because if you say you want to forget about agriculture, that means you will not fuel your stomach. We are talking about fuel. Without food, you cannot move. Without food, you cannot be able to be in the studio this afternoon. It's because you have eaten enough. That's why you are even talking the way you are talking. You see how fresh you are, because I see that you are eating good fruits every day. Yes, without good fruits, you will not be as fresh as this. If you are looking at oil alone.
So you are encouraging all of us now to eat good fruits.
Yes,
okay.
I've taken cucumber and that is this morning.
And we can produce them here.
The cucumber I plucked this morning was from my fence. Because I don't plant flower. Anything that once takes in my flower. You see, let me also tell you, you make mention about the kind of farming we do in Nigeria.
Yes.
The kind of farming you do in Nigeria, it is when the government is serious about pumping money in agriculture. If you look at today right now, if you go to Germany, our boys that are going there are working in the farm. And those people don't even have a good land. Because when you plant in abroad, they have to buy big sack to cover it so that there will be heat for it to germinate. Nigeria, we don't need it. No. And in Nigeria today, if you plant even anything here right now, it will grow. And it will do well. Mostly in Edo State. Edo State have the best soil in the whole world. But if the farmers in the state have bulldozers to clear the forest we have, and have a tractor to till the ground, and the government put in money. Farming is a place where you go. It's not about you go to farm in abroad, you come back that very day. Some people spend 2 or 3 months in the farm. They will not even come out because everything is there. Whatever you are looking for after farm, you relax in your farm. There is a condition that is light to the farm. And you see people who want to stay in the farm to say, okay, they are farming. But in Nigeria, the case is not. Let me tell you one thing today. You see, it is only of recent. Niger State bought 1,000 tractors. 1,000 tractors for farmer. Because
in Niger State.
The Niger State. Yeah, in Anambra State, they bought 100 tractors for farmers. I will not come here now to say something, so maybe I don't like this or don't like this. That's why I want to have a reserve. Because government should put more money in agriculture. You know how much they are using to eat in government house. They are lavishing food in government house that are coming from other states. Why don't you give us a task in this state and say, produce this, we give you a target. Give us money to farm. We give you target. If you are, like for example now, cassava is one of the most easiest farm in the whole world. Because when you put cassava on the ground, you don't even need anything to eat. Before you know, it spreads. And within 8 months, you pull it out, you see heavy cassava. If we even have enough this thing to apply to it, Nigeria cassava will be the best. Today, we have cassava that can even cure eyesight. Carotene cassava, we have enough carotene that can even cure eyesight. When you peel it, it's just as if when you fry it, you don't need oil to eat. We have it in Nigeria here. If government gives us enough, I say, okay, because this thing is good for one's eyes, farmers produce this thing enough and flood the market with it. I bet you one thing, the farmers in Nigeria are trying. Okay. The farmers in Nigeria, they are trying with no help or what, and the farmers are still striving to make sure that is food in the market. Whatever you see in this market, it's not coming from abroad. Go to New Benin market, go to Ekiosa market. Those things are farmed in those states here. Those things are farmed in Nigeria. It's like the beans now coming from the north. And again, let me also let you know that this fish now. Edo State is leading in fish farming today. Edo State is leading in fish farming today, but Edo State is not known. Are you with me now? Edo State is leading in terms of cucumber. Any cucumber you see that is more than 5 feet is produced in Edo. Because cucumber that is produced in the north is just maybe 4. Anything above 5 is produced in Edo because of the kind of soil we have here. That's why we are appealing to the government. Any government that want to succeed, forget about you are talking about employment. Farming is one of the large areas in terms of employment. And again, let me tell you, we have, as of today, I have registered 40,000 members as farmers. Not the one in the interior area we have not been able to capture yet. The one they have captured is 40,000. That is on our record. That's on our record.
Farmers in Edo
State. And we have even more than 100. But the thing is that the ones that are duly registered are 40,000. And you will find out that at that 40,000, we have not even been able to reach up to 3% in terms of giving them incentive. But when the government invested in us, and the government give us a target, not us invest, give us target, say this money that you are giving, within so time, pay back this money. Okay. I will not go and give money to my brother. I will not go and give money to my wife, but I will give money to those who are real farmers.
Okay. Dr. Maxwell, now you have told us that yes, there are other sources of income and all of that, but there's a problem in Nigeria. Buying fuel, PMS now is a problem, and this is a country that produces crude. Now, don't you think it's high time that the government should really think of looking at other areas of the economy? Now, apart from talking about the issue of PMS and all of that, there are other sectors. For instance, even IT is a good revenue earner for countries, also provides employment. Youths now that are trained in IT makes so much money. But we are still like crawling in terms of IT in Nigeria. If you say anything that is enabled by internet now, you see a lot of booting. The internet is not strong and all of that. So don't you think there are other areas that we can actually move to?
There are over 110 areas in which government, more than 110 areas in which government can always source for funds in running the economy. But before I dwell much on this, let me react to what Daddy said. Okay. I wasn't against farming at all. As I start with you, I'm a farmer.
Thank you.
I'm a farmer.
I'm proud to hear that.
My wife is a master holder, but she's a farmer.
Beautiful.
Huh?
That's good.
She's a farmer. That's her job.
Yes.
So
There's so much money in farming. Many people are underestimating farming.
She's a farmer, so that's what my wife does for a living. So let's leave that aside.
Okay.
So she could have as well said to herself, let her use her master to go. But right now she sees there is no need for that. So let's put that aside. Farming is something that everybody must embrace. What I was saying is this. I said even aside farming, there are other sources of income currently that the government have in their disposal. The government, they have it in their disposal, and those money are coming to them constantly, and they are not giving account of those other areas. But all we just hear is that they are weaponizing the fuel industry. Now, as we know, the exploratory industry is something that everybody feels that enough money is involved, and as a result, it seems to be the focus. But let's look at it. Is there no other ways in which government can fund the economy? Dubai, that our politician runs to, is there oil?
I understand it used to be a desert country.
Is there oil?
But it's been turned around.
I happened to listen to one of them, one of the key government officials who was talking. He said, we don't have oil, but we have the personnel. That when they discovered that they don't have these natural resources, they needed to invest on themselves. And the integrity of investing on themselves is what it is paying off today. Of what good having all the billions in this world when there is no even fear of God for you to allow that money flow from your hand to your next neighbor? Where we are is that Nigeria, as we speak, our government as we speak, lack fear of God. They lack fear of God. Now, when it gets to a stage where you don't even care what your neighbor feels, when you do certain things, what will be the feeling of your neighbor by you putting yourself in their shoe? It means that you have gotten to that level that you and the devil dines on the same table. I think the level in which our politicians or everyone is in now, in terms of policy making that has to do with our lives and everything, has gotten to that level of them dining. Now the question I want to ask, what is it not Kyari that is his name? Yes, the group managing director of NLP CL now. For almost 8 years thereabout now, what can we say that that man is actually doing? Rather than just waking up on a daily basis, looking for how to just say, Nigeria, you must face the heat. And I've asked myself a question. Is it that we voted for this government to just constantly, for a year plus now, going to 2 years, what can you say that this APC government has done federal-wise? Rather than just waking up every morning, every day, just hiking price, killing Nigerians, or in the name of excess way of buying things. Is that what they just came for? For a year plus, we are going to 2 years. We cannot actually tell what this government is doing for a year plus. By May, we will be 2 years. What can we say that, okay, with the hike, with the removal of the fuel subsidy, what can we say? Maybe I might be wrong.
You are not
is
wrong.
there
Just
anything
yes.
that you can point to today now? You say this federal government has just done this thing for almost 2 years. Now, if we have to start looking at other sources, the little sources that we have they been able to give account of it? So I get worried if we have to start looking at, which other area can we manage the economy and everything? Bet you me, if the water that we have in our backyard, happens to be of use, this same federal government as led by the president will sell it in 1,002 water. So what am I trying to say?
You asked me a question, I disagree with you.
So what am I trying to say?
If we have the government spokesman here, he also tell you that, these are the areas that they've done or they are trying to do.
They are trying for 2 years. They are trying. They are trying. 2 years. They are trying. 4 years we complete. Oh. This same thing, mark my word, today. 2 years we complete. This same story is what we'll be saying. The same government that told you, I've saved about 4 trillion, I've saved 2 trillion,
but from what we
and everything.
Now,
okay.
They told us that Port Harcourt refinery will soon.
Is that not what you've been hearing since Buhari took over? No, Kashiku was one-time minister 4 years of when Buhari came in. We had all the brouhaha. You remember Kashiku?
Yes.
The minister, the state minister of he left.
State
for petroleum. Silva came in. Is it not the same old story? I think we lack. I think Nigeria should wake up by going back. We have issue with memory. That we just see politicians coming, telling you the same thing you heard 4 years ago, 8 years ago, 16 years ago, and they are still telling you it will work. Take it or you leave it. 4 years will complete nothing. The point of, are there other sources? There are several sources.
Okay.
You have just mentioned IT. Do you know what the tech company, FinTech is one of the richest company in the world as we speak. When you look at the giant people, Alibaba, etc., they are the richest people in the world. And a lot of money. I was listening to Bigate yesterday. He said Nigeria tax is very low. you can just imagine. Now, the same government will now wake up now and say, Bigate has spoken, that Nigeria tax is very low. Then let's increase the tax. So, they just wake up. They just import something. They don't look at their template, how it will fit in, and they just do something. And meanwhile, an average Nigeria is a problem. If government create an avenue, the other person would not time side. And that's what we experience here. So if government gives you an avenue, an average Nigeria increases times 15. So is there other sources of ways of managing economy? Yes, but because we have myopic or kind of leader that we select into government or vote into government, who just think it's just to sit down alone and allow the oil to decide. I think, like what Daddy said, if we must survive, we must dive into other areas. And I also want to beg viewers and everyone, if you wait for this government on minimum wage, all of us will die.
How do you mean? Maybe you want to explain. Well, you're trying to make a point.
Okay.
Are you saying they should try out something else?
We listened to labor leaders. They said this was what the president said in the last discussion when the 70,000 was released. That the agreement they reached was that, minimum wage will be reviewed in 3 years, or like the 5 years long term. That they've also agreed that if we are accepting 70,000, there will not be hike in fuel. Or you put the fuel on 15 while we take 250. And the government said they cannot increase fuel more than this. So they are leaving fuel at this level. So let the minimum wage go by 70. So which labor now agree and called off the strike. How many months now? Is it up to 4 months? It's not up to 4 months. The same government has hiked the fuel price to 15 now and 12 thereabout. See, if anybody in federal government speak to you that Nigeria is moving this way, just know that it's going this way. Because there is no truth in their statement. What you hear is different from what you are saying. So why will I be canvassing for more sources of diversification of income to government when the little that they are getting right now, they cannot even account for it. They cannot use it to make meaningful impact on the people's life. And you think by diversifying the economy, we make this country, this same set of people, to tell you, see, take it or you leave it. There is diversification. We make money from all these other sectors, such as the farming that Sal is saying and everything. We make money, but we just have government who is not giving account of what actually comes out of all these things. All they just want to do is to enrich themselves, enrich their family, enrich their property, enrich their children unborn.
Okay.
But however, the kind of Nigeria that we will see is not the Nigeria where people will just say, we want to protest 15 years time, or we want to protest on the 15th, or we want to protest on this. it will just happen as like a tsunami. And at the end of the day, we will know if Nigeria belongs to Nigeria or it doesn't belong to Nigeria.
Thank you, Dr. Maxwell. I can see that you are very emotional because of the situation in the country, especially the issue of the pump price of PMS. So many Nigerians are really unhappy with the situation. Everyone is affected, including yours sincerely. To buy fuel, we are all affected. But that's the reason why Haji Bako is saying farming is an alternative. But apart from all that you have said, Haji Bako, there's something I really want you to comment on. Now, some persons will tell you they cannot go to farm because of insecurity. Because you said that it's even good you build a little house in the farm and monitor your farming activities. That is superb. But facing the reality in Nigeria, insecurity and all otherwise, what do you think government can do to actually revamp the agricultural sector?
Thank you very much. Before I go into issue of insecurity, let me first of all diversify to in the area of this issue of fuel. Let me tell you the truth. It is common said that when you are traveling, you start seeing sacrifice. That means you are getting close to where you are going to. Even this issue of hacking of fuel, even this issue of hardship in Nigeria, they in the offices, them in the higher authority are also affected. Many of them cannot even go to their village now. Because not like before, you see they go on convoy to the village, go and sleep in the village. Because we know when they go to their village, there are people that will eat them raw. So they are affected. Me, as I understand, I believe fuel will be reduced to 600 naira. Because what I sit down to see, if some of you climb 20-story building, you can't see it. Because the man that is there knows that if he fails, Lagos, he cannot even enter Lagos again. Because he knows what Nigeria is. I believe what is going on is temporary. Because I've traveled wide the world. I've taught 46 countries in the world. I am even very happy what Nigeria is even facing. I will say without fear of favor, what we are facing, because Nigerians have been living an extravagant life. You see somebody will have over 10 vehicles. What are you doing with it? If you go to Europe today, you see a lot of people riding bicycle. How many big men ride bicycle in Nigeria? You don't see anybody riding bicycle, except me. You don't see anybody riding bicycle, because I love to ride bicycle. This morning, I drove keke to go and carry cassava stick before coming here. You understand me so? So, what Nigeria is facing today is a wake-up call that everybody will now have to start reducing his whatever, because you see people in a beer parlor taking up those about full carton. What are you doing with it? When you could have taken 2 or 3 if you know how to do, you go back home and relax. But now, I think the hardship now is making people not able to take 3. Because they now know that if they take more than what they could have taken, the children at home are there waiting for them. So now, let me also come again in terms of the issue of insecurity. That people are saying that they cannot go for farm. That is totally lie. A man who don't have money in the bank will complain that, hey, bank is on strike. Hey, I could have gone and withdraw money. You don't have money at the bank. I'm telling you, just to be taken from Edo State.
Yes.
I'm a villager. I grew up in the village, in a place called Lemuhi, Ekpoma, before I moved to my father's side in the north. You cannot tell me, we have young boys who are at home, who know the terrain of the bush. A stranger cannot come from anywhere, from the north. You say the stranger is in your bush, and that stranger is there, terrorizing, they rape our wife. What are you talking about? That's totally lie. What are you doing? The young men, you tell me a stranger is in your bush, doing what in that place? That means you don't want to go to farm. That is why you are telling people that there are people in the bush who are raping our wives. That is totally lie. Don't let anybody deceive you. I farm in the bush, I go to the bush, I stay in the bush. Sometimes I even do hunting. I do hunting in order for me to say yes, because the hunting, the license that is given for your gun is for hunting and gaming. Nobody is giving license for gun to say go and start killing. No. You are, even by law, Nigerian law, you have no right to even shoot anything. Let me also let you know. I'm sorry, Pastor, because I want to go to some area. You know, if you go to Nigeria Constitution, Section 10 of the Constitution is stipulated that there shall be no state that will There shall be no state that will any religion as a state religion in that state. But today, you find one state is for Christian, you say one place is for Muslim. So you tell us to place it that don't adopt any religion as a state religion. You know, that's what the Constitution says. Constitution says, put it down, and you can look it from home. But today, right now, you see people building mosques inside government house. You see people building churches inside government house. Before you start, let us pray. What are you praying for? What are you praying for? Work is for work. When it's time for you to pray, go to the mosque and go and pray. Not inside government house. Government tax is for work. It's hard to have for how you are going to move the state or the country forward. It's not made for churches and mosques. That was why when the people who wrote the Constitution bring it and said there should be no state in the federation that will adopt any religion as a state religion. Section 10. But today the reverse is the case. But now
so how can we tackle insecurity?
Insecurity can be tackled. Okay. Insecurity can be tackled not even from government, from us, from ourselves. If the government know what we are doing, and the government say, okay, the people in Oredo, the hunters that are there, what are you doing? The pastors that are there, I heard that you are a very powerful man of God. You are healing people, they are falling.
I don't want us to go into
Excuse me, I will want to say something. I'm telling you, if you don't want me to go, I will work out.
No,
because
I don't want to talk about religion.
Listen, religion is one of the problems we are having in Nigeria. I'm a Muslim. It's one of the problems we are having.
You can make that another topic.
No, listen, if you don't want me to dwell on certain things, you don't even invite me. Because the formula to get a closed cylinder is 2 pi r square plus pi r square. If you get the formula, you're going to get the answer. Yeah. We are looking for the answer to Nigeria problem. And we have the formula. Okay. If you
so how do we deal with insecurity?
If you make me, let the governor, I'm telling you, let the governor be looking at me. Make me the head of security to say, I want you, the farmers should go off to farm freely. I know what to do.
Yes, I want to hear
what we want to do is a matter of, we have communities.
Okay.
We have communities. Community, I want every community to hold your forest, your bush. Okay. I want you to hold it very well.
Yes. And protect your
forest. This some amount of money will be given to you people to buy what do you call it? Because you can only buy bullets.
Yes.
That which is cartridge. Because you cannot go and start buying this thing. And many of us are hunters. Many of us are hunters. Tell them if anything happens in your village, your way or the
community leader
will be held responsible.
Okay.
My brother, every community will sit tight, but the government should not fail by giving them that money or by supplying them things that will make them to also protect. Okay. Because one, you see this vigilante before now. Vigilante, yes, people were doing things where they gave vigilante gun. That's why they are going there beyond their boundary right now. But you see the issue of security that reduced. But the only problem I have now, when somebody is doing burial, when somebody is doing birthday, you see they will not gather there. They were not formed because of birthday. Yeah. They were formed because of this issue of security to be in the forest, so that they can be those people they say they are attacking people. They can also help us to
protect them.
To get them in any country. You can never, no matter how intelligent a country is, no matter what force you have, you cannot eradicate crime. You can only reduce crime. Yeah. Today, we have the security agent. I said it in this studio, I said it in other studio. The security agent, the SSS, what was their work? Their work to, first of all, make sure before the thing happens.
That's proactive.
Proactive. It's only in Nigeria today. If you go around today, my brother, it's only in Nigeria we do what we call arrest to investigate. In any country, you don't arrest to investigate. You investigate to arrest. If somebody is committing crime, first monitor him. Let the people who are committing crime with him, so you can get them. When you arrest them, you only start playing it in a television. But today, let me just land you. Now, to crown it all, Nigeria is the only country in the whole world where you don't have a fingerprint bank. The police want to tell they are experts and they are not experts. The DSS does not work with the police. Even the civil defense are working on their own. Even the man who's supposed to be in charge of all the security, like like Robado right now, who's the NSA man that is there, he's supposed to have people. If a man commits crime in Sokoto, when he comes to Benin, he changes his name. That's all. Because in abroad, whatever thing you have done, before you enter that country, you thumbprint. And as soon as you make your thumbprint, it is a circular thing. Yeah. When you go live in Germany, you go to Holland. The moment you put your hand, doesn't even call your name. Your name you said 40 years ago will appear. But Nigeria, we don't have it. if immigration today does not share data of the this thing with somebody, with the police, DSS does not share, the police does not share. You can only see that they will come out and say, what somebody like committed, put your hand, they put your hand, that is the end. They want to go and put it in the archive.
Okay.
I am appealing to the government to wake up and let everybody know what he's doing. Let everybody be stick to his duty. Be stick to your duty, and by way doing, the farmers will be able to produce good food.
Thank you.
You can see, Pastor, you are welcome, and I see that you are shining ego, sir. I know that the product of the farm is what you are taking.
Thank you. Dr. Maxwell, please, I want you to just conclude the way forward.
The way forward is that, in as much as I don't like discussing religion, but if not what the Christians have covered today, the country would have been in serious mess. The churches have had to cover a lot of mess that the federal government has created. It's not today that evil has taken over the land. If you read Genesis 6:7, it's very clear. The generation down to where Noah have to build ark for God. The scripture says Enoch walked with God. In that generation, we were told how evil took over the land, that God has to. This is not even we crying. God has to cry over his creation. So it's not today what we are saying.
So the way forward.
The way forward is that at this junction, prayer is key, whether we like it or not. You know, when Daddy said something just now, and said that they say let's pray. Prayer is key, but prayer is key. We must learn to embrace prayer. We must learn to recognize that the human that we are is controlled by spirit, which is God. However, the way forward, let us do our part by engaging government. If you don't engage government, you will never get any meaningful result out of them. As citizens, we must engage government. Civil society should wake up. Labor should wake up. All organizations that met well before now for their citizenry, they should wake up and let's fight this injustice.
Thank you, Dr.
That is befalling us.
Thank you, His Royal Highness. As you know, this program, we can talk and talk and talk, but very meaningful talking points. Just that time is not always our friend. We call it a day on the show. We thank our production crew behind the scene, led by the presentation director. They've done a great job. Do have a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye-bye.